what I will like to explain first is this is an exam which is not just like you go through the 3 or 4 day training program and maybe on the next day or next week, just after glancing through the material, you will be in a position to clear the exam. So first and foremost, this is an exam which requires you to put a lot of effort. Okay. And this is an exam where a lot of people fail. So it is not an exam where say 99% or 97, 98% of the people pass the exam. So be prepared from that mindset perspective that this is one of the toughest exam that you are going to write. And how do you prepare for the exam? What is the format? What is the sequence of event that has to happen? The sequence of event is you need to complete this mandatory training. Once the mandatory training is completed, you need to fill up your PMI PMP application form. The PMI PMP application form is going to explain to the PMI body what is your project management experience. The way I mentioned about minimum experience, like minimum 3 years of project management experience is needed. A person who has just passed out from a college, he cannot go and apply for PMI PMP. This is a certification which says that you have very good knowledge of project management. You have done things for more than 3 years. Now I am certifying you based on the knowledge that you have. So that is why this is a exam where 3 years of project management experience is necessary. So in the PMI PMP application form, you need to provide details about your project management experience. So that is called as filling up the application form. Okay. Once you submit your application form, normally most of the time there is a like you will get an approval mail that your application form has been approved. Now you can go ahead and schedule your exam. Okay. Only in very rare cases, very rare case, the application form may go for audit. What happens in audit is you need to provide a proof that the details that you have shared in your application form is true. Basically, like who was the program manager or who was your manager under whom you were working in that particular project. He need to give a signature. That's it. So it is not a very difficult process. Okay. So once your application form is approved, you need to do the payment of the PMI exam fees. What is the exam fee? The exam fees is around $550. One thing that I will request or what I will suggest everyone is go and become a PMI member. Okay. By becoming a PMI member, your exam fees gets reduced to $400. The total cost when you become a PMI member, it's around $555. And when you are not a member, then it's also around $555. By becoming a PMI member, you have an advantage that you, in case you did not clear the exam, in case of reattempt, your reattempt fees is less. In case of being a non-member, your reattempt fee is $400. In case of being a member, your reattempt fee is $300. So you save $100 if you have to go for a reattempt. Other than that, by becoming a PMI member, you get a copy of the PMBOK 6th or 7th edition, whatever is available. You get a free copy of the PMBOK. Other than that, you get all the materials available or all the community benefit of being a PMI member. So in short, what I will suggest is complete the syllabus or go ahead and become a PMI member by paying $139. After that, once you submit your application form, once the application form is approved, you get an email that your application form is approved, then you pay the remaining exam fee and then go for your examination booking. The examination right now is happening either from home or from a Prometric center. Both the options are currently available. So the bottom line is you have to become a PMI member. And after that, you need to submit your PMI application form. You can submit your PMI application form without being a member as well. Both the option is fine. It does not cost you to write your application form. What is the cost is only when you go and book your exam. How to book the exam? There is a website of Pearson VUE. They are the service provider for the exam, Pearson VUE. Via them, we need to write the exam. Okay. The certification that you get is valid for 3 years. That is what you need to be aware of. Once you clear the exam, from that day onwards, for the next 3 years, your PMP certification will be valid. After every 3 years, you need to get your certificate renewed. What is the process for that and all? Do you want to know right now, or this is something that you guys will not be interested in?
No. Continue that. How could we renew it? We need to retake the exam, or else, yeah, there
No,
would be.
no, no.
Yeah.
You don't need to rewrite the exam. There is
Okay.
something called as PDU. If you can see the screen, this is the dashboard. That is my login. So I have logged into my PMI website. If you can see what are the certifications that I have. If you see, this is my PMP certification. It is in good standing. So it
Okay.
means that my certificate is valid. And my certification is valid till 26th of June 2023.
Okay.
Okay. When did I originally earn my PMP certification? That is on 27 June 2011.
Okay.
So it was valid for 3 years, 2011, 12, 13, 14. In the next 3 years, it was valid when I earned it. And then I got it renewed from 2014 to 15, 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then again, I got it renewed from 17, 18, 19 to 20. And from that to 2023. What we need to do, there are few kind of trainings and all that we can attend, and based on that we have to declare that I have earned PDUs, personal development unit. So based on that, you need to earn the PDUs, and other than that you need to pay a fee of $150 every 3 years.
Okay.
Okay, that is the way you maintain your PMI credential or your PMI certification. And again, like I will just show you an example of how do you declare your PDUs. So basically like 9 PDUs you get by default, that since I'm working as a project manager, so I'm already contributing. So that is the way I can earn PDUs. Other than that, by taking up a session or by taking up a session like the session that I am taking for you guys, I can earn some PDUs. That is by contributing knowledge. Okay. And then by attending some trainings like MS Project training or any other tool training or the Scrum or the Agile training, if I attend few trainings which is approved by PMI, I get PDUs. That is the way you need to earn 60 PDUs. Okay. That is the way you maintain your PDUs. So if you see an example, Agile leadership, so you will earn 2 PDUs. There are criteria whether it belongs to technical leadership or strategic. PMI Agile Certified Practitioner exam. So if you clear this exam and certification, you can earn 30 PDUs. So if you attend this PM preparation course, you can earn PDUs. If you can do this particular assessment, you get 1 PDU. Getting it?
So,
So the
from
idea is you need to keep on learning. You need to keep on contributing to project management community. This is not something that once I cleared the exam, then I have my knowledge for my lifelong. It's not a concept like that. It is like you need to keep on refreshing your knowledge. You need to understand what is happening in the PM community all across the globe, and you need to be contributing to it. Go ahead, Joel.
so I do have a question that how many PDUs do we require to renew our exam?
6060.
Sorry.
6060.
Okay. Okay.
So if you see my dashboard, I will show you. You can see here 6060.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you see, I have already earned 20 PDUs for the next batch. Next batch is 2023 to 2026.
Okay.
Getting it?
Okay.
So I can, if I earn 60 PDUs and I do the payment, I can get an extension of 3 years right away.
Got it. Got it.
Okay. Giving back to the society, this is an optional thing. This is something that I can do. Total PDUs required optional. And I can see my history. This is going to help you out. I'm just clicking on it. If you can see, on 10th Feb 2020, I did organizing and leading agile discussion. So I got 4 PDUs by doing that. So I participated in this. So if you see about this agile workshop, I had taken this up, so I got 18 PDUs.
Abhishek, I have a question here.
Yes, go ahead.
From your dashboard, I can see that there is 35 mandatory and 25 optional. Is it correct?
Yes, yes.
So if I clear 35, I would be able to extend my certification for next 3 years, right?
I'm coming to that. The policy keeps on changing. So overall, right now, we need to have 60 PDUs.
Right. From that 60 PDUs, you said 35
No,
was
optional
mandatory.
is something different.
Okay.
Okay, so 60 PDUs are required. There is no doubt on that. Other than that, also you can get more. That is what they are saying.
That 35 PDUs are enough.
Can you go back to your dashboard?
Yes, yes. So this is a bifurcation of that. Other than that, inside the 60 PDUs, you need to have a minimum of 35 within this bracket. Strategic and business, leadership and technical.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have something called working as a practitioner. So that is saying that I am working as a project manager. Then I will get say 8 PDUs.
Okay.
So that is where the combination will come 35 plus 25. That is 60.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Activities that enable you to share and apply your knowledge and skill as a mean to contribute to and help building the profession. So you need to get it from here as well. So it cannot be the case that I can go and keep on doing few trainings and sessions and I get 60 PDUs only by attending trainings. No. By attending training, there is a maximum, say like 12 to 18 PDUs you can get. Other than that, for the remaining 48, you need to do something else. It is more like an all-round development that has to happen for you to maintain and earn that 60 PDUs. Okay. You need not to worry. This is something that we will have 2.5, 3 years of time to take care of it. But the intention is you need to be aware of it. That's it. You don't need to worry.
Okay.
The first and the foremost thing for all of us is to earn the PMI PMP certification.
Correct.
And which is a difficult thing. Okay. So this is clear.
Yes.
Just a simple question to both of you. How many questions are expected in the exam and what is the duration of the exam? Any idea? If not, that's okay.
From me, no idea.
Okay. So normally in the exam, there will be 180 questions that will be asked, 180. Okay. So out of that, 175 questions are the one that is going to have marks associated with it. 5 questions are kind of dummy questions. Whether you get it right or whether you get it wrong, it does not matter.
Okay.
So 175 questions, we need to get that. And there is no defined percentage of passing. It is not like you get 68% or 70% or 75% and you will pass the exam. So it is more like a graded exam. Graded in the sense that the overall, based on a few areas, they are going to say whether you cleared the exam or not, and they are going to give you feedback on that particular area.
Okay.
So what is that area? So there are 3 groups that has been divided: people, process, and business environment. So out of the 180 questions, you can expect 42% of the questions on people, 50% of the questions on processes. What is process? What is the knowledge area? We are going to talk about this thing quickly. So if you understand this particular slide end to end, you understand the PMI thought process of doing project management. Okay. And 8% on business environment. Okay. So this is the exam content online. This is one thing that Joel was asking, right? What is the content, how the exam pattern is and all. So you can download this directly from PMI website as well. So this is something called as exam content online. That is what I was trying to talk to you about. We will have 180 questions, and this is the kind of breakup that you can expect for the questions. Okay, and it's an online exam for us. Okay, so the exam is divided into 2 parts. Now we have a concept of taking a break during the exam. It's a 10-minute break between the exam. If you want, you can take that up. Okay, first 60 questions you write, you review, and you submit. You go for the break, come from the break, and then you continue from the 61st question till 180. Once you come from the break, you will not be able to go back and update the answer of the first 60 that you had taken in the exam during part 1. Okay, this is important. If you read, about half of the examination will represent predictive project management approach, and the other
So there is no break in between 61 to 180, correct?
No. So there are 2 breaks that you can take. So I will walk you through that. You can take a break when needed. Other than that, like even when you are going, like because of some emergency, you want to go out, the timer of the exam will be running. Okay. So normally, like in the previous version before 2021, there was an option that you can go out for the exam, like if you need a loo break or anything, but the timer is running. So you are wasting your time if you go out. Okay. So this is what I was emphasizing on predictive project management. Predictive is plan driven. When you know what is going to happen. So if I'm going to ask you about your plan, can you check and let me know what is the activity that will be happening in your project on say 24th of December 2021. So if you know what your plan is and what is going to be happening on that particular day, that is predictive, plan driven approach. So half of the exam questions will be plan driven and the other half of the questions will be hybrid approach, which is like agile way of working. We'll be talking about that. We will talk about this, like the task and all. Okay, so we have talked about this application form, minimum how many years of experience you need, application and payment. And this is again while filling up the application form. So this will be taken care of. What is the application fee? Okay, this is what I was explaining. Number of questions 175. Pre-test or unscored. There is no negative marking. Whether you get all 5 right or all 5 wrong, it does not matter. Okay, the total 180 questions. Allotted exam time is 230 minutes.
So
For the
5
PMP
questions are
exam,
basically to get you, these are the questions that are like sample question answers for the exam.
this is more like if I have to explain it more from a philosophy perspective, these are ambiguous questions. This 5. You as a project manager may think that option A is the right one. I as a project manager will think option B is the right one. And PMI is trying to take as feedback, what is that the practicing project manager think about this topic. Take it from that perspective. If 99% of the real project manager thinks B is the right answer, then PMI is going to refine the concept and say that B is the right way of working.
Okay.
For the PMP exam, there are not 2 10 minutes break in the exam. The first will appear after you complete question 1 to 60 and review all your answers. The second break will appear after you have completed question 120. So it is divided into 3 parts, 60, 60 and 60. Please note, once you reviewed your response and start your break, you will not be able to return to the question from the previous section of the exam. Is that clear?
Yes.
When you are signed back after each break, you will have the remaining allotted time to complete the remaining sections. Retaking the exam, so we know. So within 1 year, you can rewrite the exam. Maximum you can write the PMP exam in 1 year 3 times.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.